Hello, everyone. Today's got a little bit of an interesting project. I am turning what is effectively this model. So it's Krondus, but I'm using Kazari the Scarred, which is the variant version. I'm turning him into possibly a more well-known dragon. Turning him into Deathwing from World of Warcraft. However, before I can do anything, I do actually need to build the model. So there'll be some assembly. I'm going to be building him in stages. As you can see, he's a big old boy. So there'll be a fair chunk of building today. And I'll be painting him in sub-assemblies too, so there'll be a mixture of building and painting over the next couple of days while I get to work on that. But yeah, it's going to be kind of a Paintover scenario. Turning Kazari the Scarred into Deathwing from World of Warcraft. So I'm not really going to be doing much in the way of modifying the actual model itself. I actually really like the Kazari the Scarred model. And I figure it's quite a good, I figured it's quite a close match to Deathwing already. And it would be quite a nice sort of battle scarred Deathwing model. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So think Deathwing, after you and your raiding party have just made their way all the way along the spine and murdered him. This is what happens to him, and that's already the wrong piece. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? So yeah, Deathwing post-raid is kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, he's been beaten to a pulp, and I'm gonna bring that to life a little bit. But first, I've got to find the pieces to get started with. I think they are over here somewhere. There you go. There's the first piece. So, for music, got a little bit of a new set of music for you all today. This is the actually in-game music from World of Warcraft Cataclysm, where you kind of really get to know Deathwing a little bit. I figured it was appropriate. And for those who don't already know, I am a pretty big World of Warcraft fan. I played right the way up until the beginning of Shadowlands. Both for the Horde and for the Alliance, as a true Illidari always would be. So I am reasonably well versed in what I need to be doing here. I think is the way to put it. Alright, let's see how this fits together. A little bit higher up, I think. Yeah, there we go. You can see how that fits. There we go. So that's the sort of thing we're going to be doing today. Fitting some parts together, and then I'm just going to build to a point where, I can access all the parts easily. No pun intended. But also, do a decent job painting it. And keeping it all consistent within the model itself. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up the glue a little bit. The glue nozzle. At the moment, this glue would not come out of the nozzle. Yeah. Okay, so I have the instructions off screen. that I'm going to be relying on. And a little bit of building advice for anyone who's building, especially these bigger models. Do a dry fit. Do a fit without glue before you put the glue on. It's a really, really small bit of advice. And it seems simple, but it will save you many, many, many hours later down the line. You just check the fit. Especially on plastic models, the fits are usually really good. So if it doesn't quite fit correctly, and you've made sure you've trimmed all your parts down and everything, maybe double check you've got the right part. So I'm just trimming down this part here. Just getting rid of all the sprue bits. So there we go. On to the next step. Next step has us putting that one aside. Moving on to another bit already. So what I tend to do is try and clip them as close to the model as I can when it's very obvious what is sprue and what isn't sprue. If it's not obvious, I usually give it a little bit of space just so that I don't accidentally clip through a part, but situations like this, I try and clip as close to the part as possible just to save on tidying up time. And you can just be gentle when you're trying to get the part off. You don't need to pull it particularly hard, and it should come out very easily if you've got all of the little tabs. So you don't need a hobby knife a lot of the time. You can use the clippers to get rid of all these little tabs. A hobby knife makes it easier when they're in awkward places, but honestly, it's not essential. I like using a hobby knife to get the very, very small bits that can't quite be reached by the clippers, but it's not essential at all. And honestly, if I wasn't so heavily invested in painting, I probably wouldn't even bother with a hobby knife most of the time. So, and the lucky piece that is going to be attached to this for the foreseeable future. A little bit of chest hair, I think, from the looks of it. Again, please, please, please practice knife safety if you're using a knife. It is so, so easy to slip and cut yourself. This is a relatively blunt blade, but I also have many, many years experience using scalpels, hobby blades, and things like that, which makes it very easy for bad habits to form. So make sure you're following the proper guides. Don't follow me and my methodologies. Because they'll give you bad habits too. Alrighty. Another tip, try and always glue on the inside, because that leaves less messy glue lines on the outside for your paint to get corrupted on. So if you ever get the choice between gluing on one side or the other, glue on the side that's going to be inside the model. Again, small tip, but It's amazing how much difference it can make. Okay. Then we attach this to this. To get a leg. And again, dry fit. And you see that's a really nice clean fit. Very, very few gaps, and the only gap is because this is a little bit flexy. It also helps you see where any bits you might have missed cutting off could be pushing out the model, causing issues when you're trying to glue it together. Really, really nice way, and also just helps you when you're trying to hold it together, just to make sure you're holding it in the right places. Oh, come on. I had it a second ago, and now it's gone. There we go. So I'm actually going to hold that shut. Just put a little glue here, along here, and along here. Oh, damn it. Okay. So when you're putting together a part like this, it's very uneven. Usually there'll be some obvious points. So like the tab here and here, those are your kind of obvious anchor points. Use those to guide where the piece should be sitting. So if you're hitting both of those points, the gluing the piece on is 99% of the way there already. So make life easy for yourself. Don't try and go too adventurous with it if you don't have to. Obviously, this is for just building the kit straight off the bat. If you're doing conversions or any kit bashes or anything like that, you can ignore all of the advice I'm saying because it's a kit bash and you don't follow the instructions. If you're following the instructions, make it easy for yourself. Okay. And we go again with... different piece. Hi Andy, welcome in. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. I'm doing some building first. We gotta build our dragon before I can paint it. So I'm starting off with the sprues. And just talking about building models in general. And looking for the next step. Thing is, these parts are numbered on the frames as well, so I'm not just magically knowing which piece is which. It's just a case of looking for the numbers. Like you can see here, hopefully. So you can see part 54 and part 11. Part 11 is actually the one I'm looking for. So that's how I'm knowing which part is which. I'd love to say that I'm magically just knowing it all, but honestly, no. It's a lot easier than it looks. There's your first competitive game on Overwatch 2. Oh, nice. How did that go, Indy? Is it any better than Overwatch 1? Or worse? So I don't often build stuff on stream because I like some models make you feel stupid as you're building them. So I don't like to show it off often because, you know, I feel like an idiot when I'm building these sometimes. But I know a few people have been interested in it, so I figured I'd show it off, at least. At least a little bit for something this big. Aside from a handful of sweaty games, feels better than it has in a long time. Oh, that's good to hear, Andy. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm just dry fitting the next bit. Should go on like this. Again, easy way to fit this. So line those tabs up at the top. And then it kind of guides the rest of the model in together. If I do it right. There you go. So that's kind of how this next bit's gonna go. Shutting out. And gluing the insides. We have these tabs, focus on the tabs. They're going to be your best joining point. What was better about Overwatch 2, Hindi? So obviously I've not played it myself, so I don't really know. I sort of heard that it's a lot similar to Overwatch 1, and that's all I've really heard of it. Okay, and then... Well, that's combining. I find part number 12. Which is up here. Okay. Alright, just tidying this part up a little bit. And then spin it around till it fits. Which I think is like this. There you go. Does it look like a dragon yet? Dragon Queen shouldn't be a tank? Oh, okay. So it sounds like Junker Queen is more of an off-tank, maybe? And they've reworked a few heroes? I'll have to reglue that section again. So I don't think it took very well. Because the glue is kind of still sticky or tacky, I can just reset it in and it will dry. But if you don't use as much glue as I do, definitely take the time to re-glue those sections when you need to. It's interesting that they've toned down Doomfist's punch. I need to watch a couple of Overwatch 2 streams, to be honest, just to kind of see what it's like. Because in the beginning, Overwatch was a really fun game. I really, really loved it. I mean, it was part of my screen name for a good long while before I rebranded. So the love was there. But the community ruined it for me, unfortunately. Not this community, I will say. The Overwatch community ruined it for me.
Korgoth _94 just resubscribed for 24 months. Eve Bush.
Korg, welcome in. Thank you so much for 24 months. I appreciate it. I hope you're well. You enjoy your lurking. You enjoy your bush times. I did not mean for that to sound as it did, but I couldn't think of a better phrasing. Okay. Going in the right direction? Well, that's promising, at least. That's really nice to hear, actually. I meant it when I said, you know, I do wish Overwatch 2 success, even if I don't see myself playing it. So Overwatch was a special game. Not just to me, to a lot of people. Apologies. The frames for this guy are probably a little bit bigger than an A4 sheet of paper, so it's hard to navigate the space sometimes. Enjoy bush time. Oh no! Before I say something that'll get me banned. For 4 hours? That's really nice, Indy. That's so nice to hear. I'm glad to hear that folks are enjoying it and that it seems to be good and, you know, learnt from the mistakes of its predecessor. No, okay, there we go. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of watching glue dry today. Today? Yes. I do try and do this bit off stream when I can, because I do get that it's not necessarily the most interesting thing to watch. But time got away from me this week, basically. There's only so many hours in a week, and I've managed to fill mine. I think I found where this goes. Yeah, there we go. There is still something insanely satisfying about finding that spot where everything lines up perfectly for a piece. And just seeing it go from being this not quite right thing to just settling into this really nice alignment. Like that. I just wish the leg would do the same thing. This might be one where I have to glue on the outside a little. It's fine, it's not the end of the world. I just prefer not to do that because it can look messy. Breakfast started again. Oh, that's good to hear. I did like Brick's design. No worries, Gog. Take your time. So, not quite looking dragon-ish yet. We're getting close. So, well, that's taking its time. Okay. I don't think any of the pieces are on here. I think most of them are going to be on here now. Or maybe on the third sprue. Maybe I'm wrong. No, definitely not on this one. And this is where I start to feel like a bit of an idiot, because I'm struggling to find the next piece. And these aren't small pieces, you know? Okay. But how do the new heroes fit into the roster, Indy? Because I know like you said, Junkerwayne's a tank. Is Kiriko a support? Are there any surprise newbies? There we go, that's 22. Right. So again, just taking off the parts that aren't actually a part of this. It also helps give the model here time to dry. Moonlit Midgar? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Moonlit Midgar. I apologize. Thank you so much for the follow. We're still in the very early stages of assembling, but there will be painting later on, I promise. Okay. So this is kind of why I affectionately refer to my modeling as 3D coloring books. All the lines and bits are drawn for you. But it is also kind of like a puzzle. Very satisfying puzzle. Oops. Broke my first rule, didn't do the dry fit. Look at this. What does this go in? Ah. Come on. New match type, you escort robot to their team spawn. Okay, so it's like a two-way payload? In a way? Okay, I'm trying to work out how this piece fits, and it's not cooperating. It's like that. So that hangs down like that, and then this hangs down like this. Oh, there it goes. See? One minute doesn't make sense, and then it makes perfect sense. It's awesome. Hi, Honored, welcome in. I'm doing well, thank you. How's about yourself? The Escort team loses control. It goes back to Midway. Okay. So it's kind of like tug of war in a way, but with a payload rather than a rope. I'm just trying to picture it. Okay. There we go. This bit. Nice and straightforward. It's got some obvious tabs for us to just glue around. And you just put a little bit of pressure on to make sure it all sticks. Yeah? That sounds cool, Indy. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Mother, you're all to say happy birthday! I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope it's filled with lots of happy memories. And all of your favourite things. And I wish you the best of luck for the next rotation around the sun. Okay, there's a lot of parts in this next one. Let's do this bit first. This is where, despite how big my hobby desk is, models like this make me wish for a bigger hobby desk. Or at least a bigger area that I could show you guys as well. Like more cameras. Okay, yeah, tail part one. Junker Queen. New Queen Street is the main one. Okay, that makes sense. So they've got the Canadian map you just mentioned. Are there any other new maps? And I'm assuming all the ones from Overwatch 1 are in Overwatch 2 as well. I'm surprised there's no one talking about the PvE that they promised. So I thought the whole point of Overwatch 2 was so they could introduce a PvE story mode. Okay. Tail part 2. So yeah, the idea with this, for those who are just joining, I'm turning Kazari the Scarred into a battle-scarred Deathwing. So it's kind of more of a Paintover makeover than a modeling thing. It's a tribute to my WoW days. You know, with Dragonflight coming in, House of the Dragon's popular at the moment. Seemed like a good time to paint a dragon. Especially after just finishing the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay. There you go. And there you go. So this plastic glue binds quite nicely, so they removed Paris in Temple of Anubis? Oh, that's a shame. I didn't New Queen Street, Esperanza, and Coliseo. Okay. I mean, the new ones sound cool. I'm not sure about Esperanza, but Coliseo, I'm assuming, is a Colosseum. R.I.P. Temple of Anubis, though. That's some of my most memorable games on that map. For better or worse, they were memorable. I kind of get why it was removed, though. It was probably one of the most frustrating maps. Okay. It's a shame they couldn't repurpose it. There we go. And hold. So we're getting to the point now where I'm gonna start considering putting paint to plastic in within the next couple of steps. But I kind of wanted to build most of the body of the dragon at least. But in such a way where we can still get into all the especially the belly, because for Deathwing the belly is kind of a really important point for a lot of the detail. I want to be able to get into there and actually put that detail on the model. Okay, don't worry about his spine. Sorry folks, gonna have to take this away a little bit. Just to get space in to actually cut this. Okay, and one last part. No interactions with the heroes? Oh, that's exciting. I'll probably have to wait for a lore breakdown video from someone. I'm sure, maybe not Nobble, but Hammy or someone like that will end up doing a lore breakdown. Even if I don't play the game, I still love the interactions between the heroes. There's some really nice ones. That's number 2. Part 2. Have you got any favorite interactions, Indy? Alright. So one thing you might have noticed is these smudges of black that have been appearing. It's because the glue actually removes the paint slightly. While I have it base coated, there will probably be patches when I go to paint this because of the glue. It's fine. I'm not concerned, but something to bear in mind. It's fine for a display piece, but if it's for, you know, a competition, glue first, paint later. Oh. So this one instead then. My hands are fumbling. Actually goes in here. Let's see. Where's it here? I think it's this side actually. Maybe I don't see so clearly. I found the side pieces. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay, so that goes down here. More or less. There it is. And then this one goes down here. Like so. And suddenly it makes sense again. Someone questioning Cassidy on his search history. Oh, I love that. I love that, Indy. And Queen saying, "Let's go, ladies," if the team is all women. Also cool. No worries, Cork. Take your time. Take it easy. Thank you so much for stopping in and for the resub. I appreciate it. And take care of yourself. And hopefully we can catch up properly soon. I'll have to catch up with you again very soon. And take it easy. And I hope you're having a good time and taking care of yourself. Alrighty. And down here. And down here. One thing I have been meaning to talk about all stream, which I haven't mentioned, is that the charity stuff that I do is starting up again, starting from tomorrow. I'll be raising money for the WWF, for the Show Your Stripes campaign. It's to raise money to protect and safeguard tigers and their habitats. So there will be there'll be special streams and stuff occurring. But you'll see the ticker appear in stream. And not next week, but the week after, I'm going to be probably running some longer streams. I might even try for a 12-hour stream. I've got some time off of my day job, so I'll actually be able to do longer and more energetic streams than I have been the past couple of weeks. So I hope you're all ready for that. And that'll be running through till the 28th. Is when the Show Your Stripes campaign is finishing. And the goal is $300 is what I want to raise. Which I know we can do as a community. But I'm keen to hit that goal this time around. So it would just be on my Twitch streams that I'm raising money, so if you catch us on YouTube, catch VODs on YouTube or a YouTube stream, those will still be technical tryouts more than anything else. But if you have any suggestions for the charity streams, let me know. Anything you want to see, any milestones, any rewards, let me know. There will be DVD streams. I know that much because I want to catch the Halloween event. Because you all know I love the spooky season. There will be I'll probably have some streamlit streams. Maybe some Stardew Valley. Do a Stardew Valley monster mash type situation. I don't know. I got lots planned. So we'll have to see. But I feel like this is starting to look more dragon-like. I also have a very, very special paint stream planned. All I'm gonna say is if you like Hades, the game, you'll like what I've got planned for later on this month. I'm so excited. I've had this model for a while. I'm so keen. Okay. I'm just gonna see what the next step is. Alright, this is probably a good spot to start painting. I'm gonna very quickly do myself a favor. Where did that go? So I'm just marking up a piece that I mistakenly clipped out. I'm just painting the piece number on the inside of the model part. So then I know what I'm actually dealing with. Co-op horror game? I don't know if the Monster Mash stream team is about. I was not personally invited to that, so I didn't have a direct involvement in it. But I'd be happy to join forces with them if they've got something planned. But no, this is the charity stuff is all stuff that I'm going to be organising myself. I've got a couple of things in place already. But I'm hoping I can do some streaming with people. I hear that's a thing some people actually get to do. So it would be nice to do like a co-op stream or play some games with you lovely people.
So that's something I'm planning.
So community days or something like that. I don't know yet. I don't know exactly, but there's going to be 2 weeks, so there's plenty of time to come up with something. Okay. So there's not going to be a lot of painting at this stage, just because, you know, we still have a lot of assembly to do. And I want to mark out some areas on the model in paint. Before we continue. I don't know, Indie. But like I said, I'd love to do some community days if I can. I'd love to do some longer streams. But it is also basically the only holiday I'm going to get this year. And I have a lot of IRL events that I'm going to be attending. You know, friends getting married, gigs that I've booked quite a ways in advance, things like that. So I'm not going to commit myself to too much yet. But the second half of this month is going to be interesting. Oh, perfect. How many WoW fans do we have in the chat? Who recognizes the music? Okay.
Remembering Final Fantasies?
Redacted and redacted. There's spoiler and spoiler, I'm guessing. I'm glad you're getting a lot of XP, Indy. I'm definitely in my my survival game era, I guess you'd call it. Like, I'm basically cycling between 7 Days to Die, Green Hell, and then just occasionally I'll mix it up with House Flipper. But it's just survival games for me at the moment in my downtime. There's just something I find immensely satisfying for, like, just turning your brain off and going through them. don't get me wrong, I haven't given up on MMOs. But I'm just not in that frame of mind at the moment. Still haven't fully let go of WoW either, which was my all-time favorite game for so long. So there's that to consider. Alright, I'm at risk of painting over parts that I need to see for building with that, so I'm going to leave that area. Okay.
Side content?
No worries. No worries. I do appreciate the consideration, Indy. I really do. Yeah, coming so late to the party in Final Fantasy, I do appreciate that there will be spoilers. It's somewhat inevitable for a game that's been out several years before I got to it. Yeah, it's very well established and very well loved. But at the same time, if I can avoid them, I will. Okay. So it's more this side of things that I'm worried about. Trying to get under the belly once it's a bit more assembled. It's gonna be tricky. At least if this assembles in the way that I expect it to, the parts that I'm painting right now might not be the easiest to get to later on. So if I can at least get the base coats on, it's just going to make my life easier later down the line. So I'm doing it this way. Just quick, I'm quick. What? Kelly? What do you mean? What's going on? Are you okay? But also welcome in.
We're fine.
I'm glad you're okay, but what's going on? Okay. There we go. This is fine. You described my brain most of the time. hope you're well, Holly. I hope you're having a good weekend. Okay, and then the Billy as well. Again, these are just the bits that can be tricky later on. When more layers are added to the model. I'm just at least giving them a once over. So then I've got something that will help guide me later on when I'm trying to maneuver past multiple layers of dragon. He's looking more Game of Thrones than World of Warcraft at the moment. That's fine. It's work in progress. They never look quite right until they're done. Okay. You're great? Glad to hear it, Howley. Glad to hear it. I'm doing well, thank you. I am very much looking forward to my weekend starting soon. Had a very long, very busy week. So I'm looking forward to some time off this afternoon. And yeah, just hopefully a bit more of a chill week next week. And then I'm off work for 2 weeks, so that's going to be awesome. You know how most folks take a holiday in the summer for 2 weeks? I usually take my long 2-week mental reset break in October. And this year I've got gigs and weddings and things like that to go to, so I'm keen for that. It's gonna be 2 weeks of streaming, gigging, spending time with friends. All the good things in life. That's such a cute emote, Harley. But yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Not as exhausted as I normally am at this time of the week, which is a nice feeling. And listening to some of my favourite music from WoW, so that's always a bonus. Listening to some good music can really change your mood. again. It's probably not the most exciting painting so far, but it's all coming together slowly. You're kind of getting a flavour for what's to come. And it is going to be a lot of that today, just a lot of, you know, basic outlining, assembling, that kind of thing. But this is not going to all be done in one stream. It is definitely going to be a multi-stream kind of situation, just from the sheer size of the model. So, I'm not in any rush to finish this guy off. Right. So this piece that I'm assembling over here, it's actually for the base. I'm not entirely sure what area of WoW I'm gonna theme it on yet, but I kind of like the idea of theming it after a particular city. Looking at it, I might go for Silvermoon or something like that, you know, the Blood Elves. Even though that's not necessarily lore accurate, it would be quite cool to paint, so something like that. Maybe Eversong Woods. Or I might try and make it a bit more lore accurate and go for one of the areas that actually got hit with the Cataclysm directly. Is that a Pichu holding a heart? It looks like a Pichu. Oh, it is! That's so cute! That is freaking adorable. Alright. The instructions say to attach this to the base. I'm not going to do that just yet, purely because I want to get a better idea of how the model sits on the base before I do that. This is for the other variant of the model, so I need to skip forward to this bit. To get the variant that I'm going to be using, which is Kazari the Scar. Let me start off with the piece that I already clipped. Okay, that can go to one side for a minute. We're back on assembly. Sorry for anyone who's finding it boring. My goal is to have this, the actual body of the dragon completed, at least, by the end. So he's got head, wings, legs, arms, tail, all attached. Maybe not attached to the model or the scenery, but like just the three major components all fully assembled, at least. Okay. Oh, you have so many cute emotes, Hallie. Aww. I
I love the color scheme on that little. Is that a little cat or a little bear?
And obviously Totodile is the best. Totodile has one of my favourite personalities of any Pokemon in the anime. He's an endearing little troublemaker, that one. Okay.
It's a cat.
Aww. It's cute. It is a very cute cat. It's just the size on my screen makes it hard to see if it's a cat or a bear. From here, anyway. Still super cute. And Totodile's awesome. He is a little pain in the backside, but he's also super cute with it. And not mean. Just a pain in the butt. Which, let's face it, was a nice little attitude check for Mr. Ketchum. Mr. I'm the greatest in the world, except when this little tiny dinosaur comes along and shows me my place. Because apparently Charizard couldn't get through to him. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that there. This is part of the head. And you can see the jaw is so squared off. It's such a good proxy for Deathwing. So it's super squared off jaw, the very, very easy colour swaps. It's great. I love it. So let's get that out. I find these are usually easier to put together. That Eevee's great. The Pokemon emotes are really, really well done. And of course, we cannot forget butts. Okay, so we have... So that's how those fit together. Which means if I do this, so and that, and then put these together, it should all settle out in the right way. Right. So, the reason this was a little bit tricky is to put this together properly, you have, the tongue is kind of free floating. There's a space between the two halves of the face, and you have to sandwich the tongue in the little space and capture it there. Otherwise, it doesn't go together. And it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. Which is why I went a little bit quiet while I was doing it. Okay, I think it's in here. So, this is just building up the head and the neck at the moment. There's sections like these that are the tricky bits, usually. And a lot of parts that look kind of similar, but not quite the same. So this is where some of the techniques like dry fitting and just taking your time are really, really helpful. Make sure you don't do any mistakes. So first things first, I need to put this onto the neck. So there'll be a little bit. And this is just me trying to figure out how it all fits together. I might need. Yes, that's the top. See, I'm fairly certain it goes this way. I might be wrong. So isn't it goes up this way? Head points this way. It's just a matter of sliding that into place, I think. Like so? Is that right? No, that can't be right. Sorry, I know this can't be the most interesting thing in the world, but unfortunately, without getting this bit right, can't get the rest of it right. ABC, welcome in. I'm sure it is for someone, is all I'm going to say on that. I hope you're well. I did do that right, didn't I? I'm getting a little bit paranoid that I've messed up somewhere. So I can't get these to fit. Oop. Well, that's not going to help the situation, is it? Wait. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Little what's up? Let's glue those on before I drop them again. There we go. See, it's stuff like that that will make you paranoid. You're losing your mind when you're doing these. Just chilling. I'm doing okay, thank you, PC. I'm slowly maybe might be losing my mind a little bit with this model. But I'm also really, really looking forward to painting him. I've had this idea in my head for a little while. Decided to save it for spooky season. So, painting a big old dragon. You all know how much I love painting dragons. Anyone who's been here any sort of length of time will know painting dragons is a hell of a lot of fun. We got music from World of Warcraft Kazari, which is appropriate because the dragon that I am basing this entire colour scheme off is Deathwing. This is why I stick to simple models like cars. Hey, look at that. Look at this guy. Look at that magnificent face. Tell me that's not Deathwing from another universe. Yeah. Honestly, this is not even close to being one of the worst models I've had to put together. Still think my least favorite build is the black coach model, or the Mortis engine model, that I did, I think, last year for Halloween. Because it was the worst combination of having a lot of parts and being very spindly. And very delicate. And I think that took me longer to put together than any other model I have ever had to assemble. There we go. Look at that magnificent beast. But I think when I put this in my hands, you sort of see the size and scale. I think you can probably understand why this is not going to be a quick model to paint. It is definitely going to take me a couple of streams to go through. But we have a most definite dragon looking bit now. Well, almost at the end, I think. Yeah, we just have to assemble the feet. And the last little bit of wings. Okay. Watching someone do ship models. That's fair. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I don't know. I find it kind of calming, and seeing it all come together, especially if it's been a bit of a fight. Some of the models are just insanely satisfying to just click together. So you'll see it looks like a mess until you just put that one, you twist that one part in just the right way, and then suddenly it all slots into place. And it's such a good feeling when that happens. Okay. And like I said, normally I'll do this bit off stream because I know it's not everyone's cup of tea watching it, but I figured it's a part of it that I would show off a bit more often, just so that you all get a better idea of kind of what goes into a model like this. You know, some people have wanted to see it from start to finish. You know, even with the boring bits. I am looking for that part. Let's take this one. But I could have done this all off stream. But it's taken me, what, an hour and a half to get to this stage? With maybe a 10-15 minute break to paint. So that kind of tells you the kind of hours that I'll put in for some of my more ambitious projects. There we go. No, I do recommend it for folks who want something kind of meditative to do. You don't have to go super ambitious with these guys, like the bigger ones. There are smaller models that are way easier to put together. And, yeah. It can be really, really rewarding. Oh, no, back leg. Not front leg. There we go. That makes more sense. Maybe not put the entire model weight on that back leg while it's still drying. Genius. Okay. You gonna behave for me now? Deathwing the Scarred. Okay, on the back, I think is the best way to do that. Money inherited. Aw, thank you. It will be a genuine honor to do that for you, BC. I know how much that channel avatar means to you. Any excuse to paint any sort of model that I've not done before, I'm in. Okay. Like I said, it's a meditation thing for me. I find it incredibly calming to do these. Alright, so we're coming down to the last handful of pieces. So then, as promised, it'll be almost entirely painting from here on in. You know, this is a side of the hobby too. And I do call myself a hobbyist rather than just a painter. I say just a painter. There's no such thing as just a painter. But I do take part in all parts of the hobby, not just the painting. Not only the painting, I should say. Adding a reskin. Okay. That's cool. That'd be awesome. I considered getting a channel avatar, but honestly, I'm too in love with this design that Hen came up with for me. So I think the panda, the heretic panda, is going to be my closest thing to a mascot. He's just too dang cute, that little panda. Okay, and then there's another part that I've missed. There it is. Almost done. Oh yeah. The panda is my avatar. Yeah, it works. Little hooded panda. So, bring back a little bit of the scenery. This will come into play more later on, but it needs to be done now so I can focus on the painting side later on. It's one of those rare instances where gaps are actually intentional. You guys can go that way. Final page. Two moments. Excuse me. Remember to glue in ventilated areas, folks. This plastic glue is a solvent, and it will give you a stinking headache if nothing else. If you don't properly ventilate your hobby areas.
Thank you. Bulbasaur's the best starter? I do love Bulbasaur, actually. Bulbasaur's pretty great. I'll allow it, Indy. So, that's done with. I won't need that anymore. Sorry for the racket. I can't see the part I need there. There it is. Annual claw. Okay. And slash him that into my set. Damn it. This one I was about to say, this has been a relatively pain-free experience assembling. We get a part that just doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. And getting that claw on. So the wings, I'm probably going to have separate for the time being, just so that I can get in and paint them. I was just checking to see which sections were needed. Because the last thing I want to do is build too much and restrict the ability to actually do a good job on this one. Like I said, it's a project that I've had in the works basically since they announced this model nearly a year ago, so I don't want to mess it up at the last minute just because I wanted to, you know, rush. Alright, there we go. There we go. Just gonna double check if there's something else to add. No. So, if you want an idea of the model that's inspired it, let's see if I can find a good picture for you. They don't have a full picture of the painted one, but this is the model that I'm currently building. That I'm going to turn into Deathwing. So you can kind of see what I've got planned. If you're familiar with how Deathwing looks. Yeah.
It's Indigo Leaf just resubscribed for 35 months. Heresy detected. Nobody panic.
Indeed. Thank you so much for the resub. Yes, I do believe there's a little bit of heresy going on right now. Thank you so much for the resub.
That is a long time. 35 months. It's almost 3 years. It's huge. Thank you. I'm so lucky to have this community. I couldn't do this without you lot. Okay. Ow! Come here, bucket wings. Thank you so much, Indy. I think it's alright. No need to panic. Heresy is intended and acceptable today. You know, heretic can also refer to people who just don't quite fit the bill for normal. The heretic is not necessarily a religious thing. It can also just be someone who doesn't stick with societal norms, to quote the dictionary. I think that fits us. Fantastic friend. Oh, thank you, Indy. I try. But we have all of our parts now. We have all the pieces that we need to actually start painting this. Don't worry, I'm not just going to tease you all in end stream now. I am actually going to paint. As soon as I find the right brush to get started with. There it is. I could have been evil there. I could have said, no, that's it. That's your lot, folks. See you next week. But no, I am actually going to paint. I'm going to get some base layers down so that we have a good idea of what we're facing up against next week. But first, soft hydration. So I'm just using basically a dead brush to do this. It's not going to be pristine, neat and tidy. No, this is base layers. So as long as this continues to be able to hold paint, I'm going to use it till it's completely useless. Okay. You're back, no worries, Indy. Take your time. I will still be here when you're back. I'm just taking this, and this is just the base layer, so Deathwing, for those who don't know, is primarily a black dragon with a lot of fire and lava colours underneath the scales. So I'm focusing on the wings first because those are the main sort of fire colour areas. But there's a lot of areas sort of around his chest, around his mouth, around his eyes.
where you can see those reds, those oranges, those yellows coming through. So it's gonna be a lot of practice of glow, lava effects, flames, and hopefully it should come out quite nicely on this model. Now I'm still figuring out in my head how I'm going to do the scarring down the side of the model's face. Because on Kazari the Scarred, there's like a big lightning scar down one side of his face, which looks incredible. And on the model for Kazari, it's painted, you know, just pink against a sort of cream and orange background. Now, for Deathwing, I'm not sure if I'm going to follow the same thing. I'm just doing it sort of pinkish purple colour. If I'm going to do it more like a crack, so sort of have lava glow coming out from it. Or if I'm going to go a completely different tactic and maybe go with sort of an electric blue or something like that. So that's one of the things that I still need to work out. I think I'm going to kind of leave it to one of the last details and see how it looks closer to the time, how the rest of the model comes together closer to the time. Use that to help my decision. Dragons! Dargons! YouTube suggestion yesterday at the end of Legion where Gul'dan dies. Yeah. Man, Legion is such a good expansion. It makes me sad that after Legion, which is honestly my favourite expansion, we had two of possibly the worst expansions. So Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands. And I'm sad because I was really excited for Shadowlands. I was really keen to see the Azeroth afterlife. And it was so disappointing. But Legion will forever be my favourite. A lot of people use sort of Cataclysm, Wrath of the Lich King, that kind of area for their heyday. For me, it was Legion. It was when I finally got the Demon Hunter, finally got everything that I had been waiting for in this game. I've been waiting to play a Demon Hunter since Burning Crusade. Getting to level my first Demon Hunter with one of my favourite people. Also very cool. Also something I will forever remember. Let's see negative things about Warlords. Warlords was... yeah, it was kind of similar to Shadowlands in the sense of it was something that a lot of people had looked forward to, and then it wasn't implemented very well. And a lot of the most popular classes weren't in a good place for Warlords. You know, it wasn't very well balanced, and it felt very unsatisfying to play. Now, I have good memories of Warlords of Draenor, but that's mainly because of the guild I was in at the time. It was a very, very good time in the guild I was in. So I don't really have those negative associations with Warlords because I don't remember the gameplay as much as I do the memories of the guild I was with. But I understand why people would, you know, have negative associations with Warlords. think this brush might be done for, you know? This brush is not long for this world, unfortunately. I don't know, everyone has their favourites. Like with any game, there'll be some people who swear by a particular part of the game, and then some people will say it's that specific part of the game that's ruining it for the rest of them. So it's really, depends what you want out of the game and what you enjoy. Sorry folks, bear with me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That'll do for what I'm doing here. Okay. Mr. Pandaria, I didn't play a lot of Mr. Pandaria. Again, I enjoy the environment, but I came to it a lot later than most people. So I took a break around Cataclysm and Mr. Pandaria, so I kind of didn't catch it. I didn't miss it exactly, but I came in towards the end of the life cycle of the expansion. So my experience, again, is not great, well, not the same as what the average player would have had. So unfortunately, at the end of Cataclysm, the group that I was playing with fell apart, and I had to change servers, and there was a lot of social issues for me going on at that time. Again, I love Pandaria. I think it's great. Obviously, I love the Pandaran. Monks are badass. They're maybe not the class for me, but I love what they do and I love their lore. It's not my style of gameplay. But they're a lot of fun. Again, you'll hear wildly different opinions about each expansion, but up until very recently, WoW was my favorite game. So it's still a very weird experience for it not to have that. Like, no matter what, I can always play WoW if I want to. Because yeah. I've talked about why I don't play any Blizzard games anymore. Before. But when something is such a mainstay in your life for 15 years, I think you can probably appreciate how weird it would be to not have it there anymore. But we are all about Cataclysm today. All about the rise of That dreaded dragon. I just remember the raids for this was so unique. You know, how many other games will have you fighting along the back of a gigantic dragon? And, you know, it literally changed the world that we played in a major way, and it was kind of... I wouldn't say it's necessarily the first time, but something about Cataclysm felt so different. And it probably was the heyday and the golden time of WoW. I would say around that time. Getting to choose Horde or the lesser option. I mean, my Demon Hunter was for the Alliance, so even though I was very much for the Horde for a good chunk of my WoW career, from Legion onwards, I was Alliance leaning. So I guess I was a true Pandaren in the sense that I didn't wind up picking one side or the other. The Horde is very nostalgic for me, and old Horde will always be my favourite. But current Horde? Eh. Sylvanas was not my war chief. I still think watching the intro to Shadowlands live, like being on server for it, was one of the more special experiences that I've had on WoW. Because it was the first one I did on my own. It was the first expansion launch in server that I did alone, without a guild or a group of people with me. It was just me and the game, and it was very special. And I did that sitting in Orgrimmar. So that's a fun memory I'll always have. Grommash, yeah. I don't know. The leadership of the Horde has always been the weakest part of it, in my opinion. And I do have to admit the the Alliance leadership just kind of has more to it. Like Jaina Proudmoore, awesome character. Anduin Stormwind, got more interesting in Shadowlands, I'll give him that. But, you know, Khadgar, again, bit of a dark horse. Drove me absolutely nuts in Legion, but again, they just seemed a bit more two-dimensional. So while I kind of loved what the Horde stood for, they didn't stand for it very well. At least in my opinion. I think that's kind of what appealed to me about the Demon Hunters so well. They kind of put aside the silly Horde versus Alliance bullshit and was just like, hey, look, we got bigger problems. So, you know, if someone asks me Horde or Alliance, my answer is Illidari. But if I had to pick, I mean, if I was in World of Warcraft and I had to pick between Horde and Alliance, I'd probably want to be on the Alliance side of things. You know, Stormwind is not a bad city. I'll say tend to be in the nicer areas to be in, which is annoying. Yeah, give the Horde somewhere of natural beauty. That's why I was always a Tauren on the Horde side of things. There's Mulgore and just the whole Tauren starting area. North Barrens. So beautiful. On the Bluff for the win. Probably the best Horde capital in my opinion. On the Bluff was great. Pretends to be shocked. Am I really that predictable, Indy? No, Thunderbluff is fantastic. Best starter area ever. Okay. You totally haven't mentioned how much you got killed in the past? No. Never. I don't know. Maybe I have a thing for tragic sibling stories. An affinity, I should say, not a thing for. I just understand the idea of sacrificing for something bigger than yourself, you know? I think that's why, even though I don't like her as war chief, I understand Sylvanas. I get her motivations, I get what they're going with. She believes she's doing the right thing. She believes that she's sacrificing for a bigger cause. Even if it's totally misguided. Just, I don't get the war chief bit. That's the bit that doesn't make sense. No, why would I punch a certain night elf who shall remain nameless and definitely isn't, you know, Tyrande? Why would I punch her in the face? I mean them in the face. Okay. I don't know. See, now I just want to go and read the book, of Illidan's story again. That is such a good book. Like, if you don't like Illidan when you start reading the book, you'll end up feeling for the guy, at least at the end. Does a great job of winning you over to his side. Okay. I don't know. I think since I've stopped playing WoW, it does give me an opportunity to actually read the books more. So I'm starting to track down copies of, you know, the backstories of all the characters that I enjoyed. Just to get more perspective on them. There's as much lore as there is in the game, there's just as much WoW lore outside of the game as well. I think that's what I loved about the game so much, was how rich the lore is. How you always feel like you're only just scratching the surface of what you could find. But there's always more. Malfurion, my fuck up. If I had $1 for every time I threw a glaive or some form of missile or damage towards Taronda during that quest, I'd be a very, very rich person right now. Man. Then after all that, she goes and fucks off into the Shadowlands and leaves Malfurion behind. She goes all psycho revenge lady. Just, what was the point? Okay. So I don't know how clearly this grey is going to show up on the black over stream, but while the wings dry, I'm just starting to pick out some of the detail on the chest here. Like I said, this is going to be battle scarred Deathwing. There's one character I am keen to find out more about. because what I do know about Deathwing I've mostly forgotten. So that's going to be fun, rediscovering his story. I hope everyone who is looking to play Dragonflight enjoys it. It is the first expansion that I have no intention of playing. Or buying. So... Padlock Calteris. Jaina mending bridges with her mother. Yeah. Yeah. That jump scare is so well done. It is one of the best in the game. It's one of the most memorable moments in the game. I know exactly what you mean, Indy. You just don't see it coming. To be fair, Jaina Proudmoore is one of the more memorable characters. And Laura Bailey performing Daughter of the Sea is one of the most heartbreaking renditions I've ever heard as well. That cinematic broke me when I saw it. There was so much going on there. I didn't spend as much time in Kul Tiras as I wanted to. I think partly because I was a little burned out after Legion. Because Legion was one of the first expansions since, you know, we're talking Wrath and Cataclysm era, that I'd basically non-stop played. I didn't really stop playing Legion at all. So when Battle for Azeroth came out and hit the servers, I was a little bit just drained. I was like, I need to breathe. I need to take a beat away from WoW, and just kind of resettle myself. But there was a surprising amount in there. I think for me, though, coming down from, you know, the Burning Legion are back, and it's this huge existential threat, and, you know, the ending of Legion with Sargeras, and then Illidan getting jettisoned off into the Outer, and all that, to then go back to where we're bickering between ourselves again just felt so hollow to me afterwards. It was such a come down from this grand battle. I was disappointed with BFA. I was disappointed there wasn't more. But it ultimately just burned down to Alliance versus Horde again. which is a real shame. They had an opportunity for some really cool options, narratively speaking. And they just went back to the same old story. Ashwayne Fleet. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think my Demon Hunter would have ever been welcome at Jaina's side, but I don't know. My Worgen, maybe, in human form. I had a Worgen warrior that was a lot of fun, actually. A huge amount of fun. I was working on not too long after I quit WoW. Not too long before I quit WoW, even. Okay. I can somewhat see the grey. It's not very clear yet, but it's getting clearer. Man. Why did Blizzard have to end up being such stinkers? They robbed us of a good thing. One day I want to see the Warcraft movie where it's just all the cutscenes and cinematics, you know, rendered in beautiful 4K and stitched together in chronological order. See that? I would watch in a heartbeat. I know variations of it exist on YouTube, but, you know, Blizzard have a very talented animation team. I'd hate to rob them of their, what could be their crown and glory. Okay. In the meantime, let's get some of this. This is quite a watery solution of Ashen Grey. I'm just outlining some of this area. I'm taking off some of the water just to get a bit of a clearer line. Because this chest area will probably be ending up more like armor than scales. And then the, I don't know, there'll be elements that will change slightly. Okay. At the moment, I'm just kind of picking out some of the more important pieces. And just getting them highlighted out so it kind of looks like I've actually done some painting. The dragon! Hey, Sinku, welcome in. How's it going? I'm sure you remember Cataclysm as much as I do. Life is insanity? Oof. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope life calms down for you soon. Yes. Deathwing on heroic. That is no small feat. At least the old school Deathwing on heroic. Back in the day. Was definitely an achievement to be proud of. To this day, the spine of Deathwing remains one of the most frustrating gaming experiences of my life. Micromanager boss quit. I'm glad that the micromanager quit. I am happy for you on that one. Hopefully the new boss is better. Hopefully the new boss is a good one. And they treat you well. And they do all the right things for you. Okay. Yeah, spent last week putting new bus up speed. Yeah, it's always the way there, isn't it? Sometimes you just gotta... I'm glad that he's better. Hopefully, once he gets his feet under him, he'll continue to improve and be a really good bus for you. Okay. Yeah, right there, Andy. I love that little guy. I love the little blanket flap emotes. I think they're adorable. I should get one soon. Just make friends with the squad in Apex? Nice! Yeah, Cindy. That's awesome. Always good to make friends in games. It's for anyone who tells you that online friendships don't count. Okay, there we go. So yes, that's going over the lines. Yes, it's deliberate. We got things. We got plans for that one. Okay. So the wing will fit over like this. So that's the back. So we got the spine of Deathwing, the Scarred, going along there. And see, the hardest thing about this is deciding which details to keep, which details to alter, and which to just kind of not address. I have so many memories of doing Deathwing Spine that it's going to be very hard for me to kind of settle and pick. You have to remember it's an artistic rendition, not a faithful replication. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just going through, kind of laying groundwork for the apparently really dramatic future work. I don't remember this music as much. Okay. So unfortunately it is a lot of, you know, grey on black kind of work at the moment. Not a lot of super dramatic colouring yet. But it's all essential. There's all building layers for the future dragon that it will be. So it's still very much the rough stage. And we got a whole base to do as well. The base is the size of a small dinner plate. I'm not exaggerating. I have got actual plates that I eat off that are smaller than this. This base is massive. I'm trying to find something nearby that will kind of emphasize that. Okay, here's the base. Alright, I'm gonna move the dragon out of the way for a little bit. There's your base. This is a can of definitely, you know, non-branded cola product. It's a regular soft drink can of non-branded cola brand. And that base. It's ridiculous. It's what I'm trying to say here. This is no small beast. Okay. But we have what is recognizably a dragon, which is more than what we started the stream off with. We have colour. We have all the major parts attached to where they should be. And the sub-assemblies are sensible and ready for paint. Which is kind of where I wanted to end up today. I'm in a good spot for the rest of the streams. So I will be working on this all of next week, most likely. This is a big, big project. And I really want to do a good job on it. And it's not for anything, it's not for a contest or anything like that. It's just for myself. But sometimes they're the most important projects. The things you do just for yourself to prove to yourself that you can do them. Okay. You know what? I might just leave it there for today. Just because I'm running the risk of overworking it. And I want to let the paint and the glue and everything settle into place a bit more. But we have the start of one very big dragon boy. We got everything put together. We got wings. He's got future things to stand on. So we will be working on that throughout next week, like I mentioned. Tomorrow also marks the start of the charity livestream run. So keep an eye out on Twitter for the schedule, but it is the WWF Show Your Stripes campaign to raise money for tigers specifically, to protect, conserve, safeguard their futures. I love tigers. I love big cats. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. There'll be special streams coming up. There'll be more information coming up soon. So please keep an eye out on Twitter for that, because that's the best place to keep in touch at the moment. And the VOD will be up on YouTube tomorrow. So if you missed any part of it, if you want to skip back, find out more about the plans for this, check it out on YouTube tomorrow, because everything helps. For now, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the company. I'm gonna go get some rest and have a weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you're in the world. Thank you all so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now, folks.